you today. Congratulations on A Walk in the Woods.
Thank you.
It's a very nice film.
Good.
What was the most personal aspect of making this film for you?
There's a lot of personal things, but the overall thematic issue of where were they from, where did they go to school, and the beginnings of their relationship, which was Iowa, University of Iowa. They're both from Iowa. I was born and raised in Iowa, so up until my high school years, and then I went to Omaha. And then, anyway, long story. So the whole setup of it was very familiar to me, and we were able to bring those kind of sensibilities together. Although Bob was from L.A., right, but he had a very similar upbringing. World War II children. He remembered rationing. I remember the fear of adults and rationing. My sister and I fought over the lard to break the red bubble to make it yellow, and you essentially spread lard on your bread. Shoveling the coal in the furnace, no gas.
And I saw a comment on the internet that said Redford and Nolte should have worked together a long time ago and been doing things together a long time ago. How would you respond to that after working with both?
I'm a slow mature. So is Bob.
Oh, he said he's kind of wild when he was young.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah.
In fact, I've been wild all the way through. I'm very lucky to be here. They just have overlooked. And I've always been very polite about things I've done. Mm-hmm. I've always told the police, you were right. I shouldn't have been on the road. And we both had some, it's very difficult in those times to, because the predominant emotion of America in the 40s, early 40s, was fear. That was because of the war, yeah. My father bivouacked out of San Luis Obispo, so I can remember the train rides out. And especially going back, I remember the punch-out tanks out of cardboard you could make in the bunks you slept in. And when we came home from the war 4 years later, or 3 years later, I talked to my sister, who was 2 years older. She didn't know who he was. And I just knew there was a great excitement. And there was this 6'6", thin as a rail man that we didn't know who he was. And then we used to have to go upstairs and sit in a rocking chair while he recovered, because he had malaria, he had all sorts of diseases. And so it was pretty, I think we have that in common.
And,
Oh, boy, I'm sorry, Ken.
no, it's really nice.